It's time for Penguin Speaks.
Hey everybody, Penguin here. We just got back from Warped Tour and it was an interesting day. It started off fine. There was an overcast for the large majority of the day that we were there, but as you can see, I'm red. I got sunburn all over the place. My arms, my hands, my legs, can't see those, but they're pretty bad too. And the reason is because it's overcast, I fell prey to the theory that, hey, if the sun's not out, I'm not going to get sunburned. And, that just isn't true. Now, we did leave early, and we got back to the house early because it started to rain. And it rained heavy. And it rained hard. And there was a lot of thunder and lightning. And everybody, including us, took shelter. We went all the way back to the main stage, the journey left and right foot, and got underneath the amphitheater cover and stayed there for a while too. But we did get to see some bands. I think my favorite was a band called Alstorm that are basically Scottish pirates singing heavy metal, I think is the best way to put it. But hey, it was good. I actually enjoyed it. There wasn't any bands that I saw that I didn't enjoy. They were all pretty good. But that one stands out. That was a real interesting one. That was the one where my boy got out into his first mosh pit. It was jumping around and slamming around and dancing around, and it was pretty cool to watch him do that. And he thoroughly enjoyed himself. He really did. I've got some pictures and some video that I'm going to show you guys, and well, let's get to that right now. Here we are standing in line. A lot of people out there. There was probably, 3,000 people in front of us to get through, and we got there fairly early. But as you can see, we didn't get there early enough to get up front. But that's about to change, and I'll tell you about that. Just another shot a little bit higher up of the crowd standing there. A lot of people, a lot of people. The one on the right in red is my boy Mackenzie. And on the left is his friend Kennedy, who came here all the way from Iowa. He'll be staying with us for the rest of the weekend. And they seem to have a good time. Here's where we stopped to rest. We had entered the amphitheater lot, and this is on the far end, as far as you can go. To the right is one of the monster stages. We just had to rest because I did a lot of walking even to this point because the wheelchair couldn't go over some of the terrain. And we didn't have the electric chair. We only had a push chair, and it was tough on my wife. So we're just sitting off to the side watching everybody come in. We actually were able to get to the front of the line because me being in a wheelchair, you enter through a different gate. So we didn't have to wait that long line that you saw standing in to begin with. We went right down to the front and went in. So we were one of the first people in. And we just kind of sat, watched people fill in. We decided what the agenda was going to be and figuring out what bands were playing where so we knew where we wanted to be and when. So the first stage is to our right. This is Mutant South stage. And the band After the Burial is setting up and getting ready to start. And I'll show you a short clip of them, or the best that I could do from the vantage point that I was at. Going to do a quick pan of the crowd starting to form. There. Wasn't a whole lot of people this stage. Again, this is the furthest out from the entrance, and a lot of people have not arrived there yet. They're just starting to fill in. So we'll have a little video or a couple more pictures coming up. As you can see here, they're starting to fill in. More people are getting here, starting to move to the front of the stage and getting the mosh pit ready. In this video, the band is playing After Burial, and the audio was not very good here, but I'm going to let you hear part of it. Hindsight, I should have probably brought an external microphone with better audio quality so I could record the bands better. And I took this picture because it was significant. That lady in black over there against the yellow trailer was probably about 65 or 70 years old. Somebody's grandma, more than likely. But she was rocking it like she was 20 years old. You go, girl. There she is, rocking it. You can't do much when you're that old, but hey, she's doing enough, isn't she? At this point, we're underneath another tree, just kind of observing people. That's what I really love to do best, is just watch people come and go, see how they were dressed, see how they were acting. And so far, Mackenzie has not been with us. He's been doing his own thing with his friends. He met up with a couple other ones there, and he really had a good time, so we let him go on his own. This is actually not a bad place to let kids go on their own, because it's really a well-protected area. Police were everywhere. Security was everywhere. And this was kind of one of the to the right is the amphitheater, where you had two stages built into one. And when one would stop, the other one would crank up. And that's kind of what the beauty of this was, is the way that it was organized. I was very surprised, and I respect the way that they did things. One of the things was the efficiency of time. For the most part, there were three groups of two stages right next to each other. One would play. When they're finished, the other one would start right up. There was never a absent or a space in time when there wasn't music playing coming from these two stages. So as the other one was finishing up, the other one was setting up, and you never heard a sound check. So the sound was really what impressed me, without having a sound check, that they were able to sound that. You can't tell by the videos, because again, I guess a phone just isn't made to record with that kind of bass thumping in it. But they were really set up well and well organized, and I think that's really what impressed me the most about the whole time that we were there. Well, this band was one of my favorites. Their name is Alstorm, I believe it's pronounced. And the red-headed kid up there, the kid in the red shirt with the earplugs, earphones, yeah, that's Mackenzie. That's my boy. He's getting into it. He kept working his way toward the mosh pit. Like every song, he'd be a little bit closer, until the last song they actually drug him in there. And it was really kind of fun to watch. I don't have a video of that, but because you really couldn't see him inside of it. But again, he had a large time. Here's a little bit more of the same band. I just think they were awesome. I really do. The music sounds like Scottish music. They play in the heavy metal style. They're from Scotland, and they were just really fun to watch. This is a selfie pic of my wife and I. We're both kind of drained already from the heat and everything. And bless her heart, she pushed me as far as she could in a wheelchair and did a really good job of that. And I give her thumbs up, credit, kudos for that, because I know it had to be tough. I would walk as much as I could, then have her push me as little as possible, but it still worked out to where she had a good workout that day. She probably won't be able to move tomorrow because of that. You can see on my forehead the sun is starting to take its toll, and at this point the sun is out behind us. Fortunately, we were in the shade. Never had that much direct sunlight, but as I said before, you can't go under the myth that because it's not sunny that you can't get sunburned. I am living proof of that today, and I will feel it tomorrow. Well, this performer's name is Andy Black. I wasn't that familiar with him, but he really sounded good. As you can see, there's a lot of people in here right now, and this wasn't even the most at one time that they had. Not sure if I have any video coming up of after the rain. I don't think I did, because my phone was kind of drying out. This band was American Authors. I don't have any video of them, I don't think. I'm not sure, but I'll post it if I do after this picture or two. They did have some effects. They had some smoke, but they couldn't really do any major effects because they were in the amphitheater. This was nice to sit and watch all these different bands in one place, left stage, right stage, because it just goes to show you how quickly they set up and would break down. There never was a break in the music for us. Right here, we're watching that guy in the gray with the beard. He is passed out drunk already. And if you watch for it, wait for it, you're going to see him start to go. He's having a good time, but I think he had a little bit too much too early. And with the heat that was out there you go. He's going. He's going. You see it? He's going. And he's going. And he's going. And he's gone. This is a copy of the schedule. And there were, I believe, 74 bands playing on 7 stages. And again, I was impressed at how smooth the event ran. They really know how to do it and know how to do it well. The bad part was you had to pay $1 to get this. You would think that that would be something they would give away for free, but that wasn't happening. What I should have done was taken a picture and posted it on the internet for everybody and told them to go to the site and save that $1 for a piece of paper. But oh well. Did make a mistake. This band is actually Never Say Never, or the previous band was Never Say Never. This band was American Authors. So I made a mistake, so ignore that. I just don't feel like going back and editing it. Another picture of American Authors, and we're going to bleed into a section where you can see them already setting up for the next band, so that as soon as this one stops, that one starts. I mean, there's probably 15 seconds of silence. And this is just a picture of my ticket for the event. We had a good time, and now I'm going to go into detail as far as the pros and cons, what I liked and disliked about the venue, and about what was going on. While I thoroughly enjoyed myself, I think there were kind of a lot of problems. So, all in all, it was a good day. But here are some things that I like and didn't like. I've said it several times during the video. I do like the way that it was handled as far as the management of the bands and the stages. They had great stage hands, and the same people worked the stage over and over and over. They had set everything up. The techs would come out and they'd do the music part. All was well. What I didn't like was, I spoke about the hydration stations in previous videos that they were supposed to have there. They did have them, but the water wasn't cold. It was supposed to be cold water. It wasn't cold at all. And then you had to buy ice if you wanted to put it in there to cool it. Didn't like that at all either. Everything there was way overpriced. A beer, $12. Now, it was a big can, a 25-ounce can, but $12, I can get the exact same can at the Mini Mart down the road for $1.25 to $1.50. So that was too much. I also didn't like the food, way overpriced. Got fries, $6 for some fries, and they weren't good at all. Didn't even eat over half of them. T-shirts and stuff weren't bad. You know, your normal $15-20. There were a lot of them that were for the overall Vans Warped Tour that were $15, and you got either a free hat or a free wallet with it. Now, all the T-shirts for the bands themselves started at about $20. The good side was they're selling their CDs. They were only $5. That was good, but overall, it was overpriced. Bottle of water, $6, really? And that was a big issue, according to some of the comments, was the water was just too expensive. And that was the main thing that a lot of the people, because they were underage, were getting was water. Bottle of soda, $6. Couldn't get hit with anything less than $6, $12, no matter which way you turned. And you had to get something to drink, and you had to get something to eat. You were allowed to bring snacks in, and you can get the free warm water, but that wasn't much to go on when it's going to be hot. Fortunately, it wasn't overcast, so the humidity was high, but the heat wasn't that high. I can only imagine if it was a 95-degree day, people would have been passing out left and right. But I did like some of the signs by the stage that said no surfing, no crowd surfing. That didn't stop them. They still did it. It was kind of funny. They didn't give them a hard time. The stagehands and security up front would just get them, send them right back up, and put them back. So they didn't bust their chops about it. I wish it wouldn't have rained. There were a few bands I wanted to see that we would have stayed to see, but we left early. There was just no point in staying there. You know, at the end we were dry underneath the amphitheater, but we didn't know what was to come. More rain was coming, which it did. They ended up opening back up and started playing again, but it's going to push the time so far. We're supposed to end around 11. It would have been 1 o'clock in the morning before they were able to play again, because the only two stages that were playing were under the actual amphitheater, and that was what was called Journey's Foot Left and Journey's Foot Right. And again, that was probably the best part to see. If there wasn't a few other bands I want to see, such as Alstorm, I would have probably stayed there for the entire day because it would have been worth it. So all in all, Warped Tour was a success. It's over until next year. I did learn a lot of things between now and then, so if I go next year, I'll be more prepared. So hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Penguin Speaks. Be somebody important. Be yourself. Peace out.